Lowell, Konyk. I'm a senior accounting, finance, and real estate major over in the business school. And today, I'm here to change your preconceived notions about some things we all fear. You see, when I first heard the topic of the event in February of staying human, I thought to myself, what is it that makes us uniquely human? And how can we use that knowledge to better understand ourselves and also our relationships? And what I came up with is that the things that make us the most human are in fact the aspects of our lives we most fear. And today, I'll expand on one of those aspects, failure. Now, I'd like to begin with a quick poll, so raise your hand if this applies. How many of you have failed at something, or at the very least, felt like a failure at some point during your life? Awesome. Now, how many of you felt like that failure impacted an aspect of your life, whether that was school, a relationship, or otherwise? Now, how many of you felt like that failure significantly impacted your physical and or mental health? Great. So as you can see, whether that's playing the drums, learning a new language, or apparently taking wildcard photos like me, failure is a natural part of living in a competitive and pressure-driven world. Now, to put this more into context, I want to tell you about a time when I thought that failure would truly define me. And to set the stage, it was freshman year of high school. I was just starting to get acclimated to all the changes that high school life had to offer. And it was at this time I felt as though I was starting to peak socially, in that I was finding new friends, beginning to flirt with a few cute girls, and even finding out that Friday nights in high school are quite a bit different than Friday nights in middle school. Mentally, I was finally finding a groove with my studies, and then finally, athletically, I was playing for a great club lacrosse team, a sport that I've lived and breathed since 6th grade. You could always find me outside playing wall ball, at tournaments, or even just talking about the latest commit to Johns Hopkins. And then, in early January of that year, I was playing in an indoor lacrosse game, and snap, crackle, pop. I broke my lower left leg in 3 places. And funny enough, my first thought after an extraordinarily loud cuss word that I'll let you guess was, I hope it isn't too bad because I have a tournament next week. Well, it was bad, and I did miss that tournament. The result was that I was in a cast from the bottom of my foot to the top of my leg, wheelchair for 4 months, and crutches after that. And it was during this 9-month period where I had to relearn to walk, to roll myself around, and to even teach myself geometry. I still couldn't tell you how to find the volume of a cylinder, that I felt like I was at the lowest valleys of my life. Socially, in that I found it hard to find time with friends when I had physical therapy almost every day. And as you'd imagine, it's much harder to flirt when you're sitting foot up in a bright blue cast from the bottom of your foot to your top of your hip. Kind of limits your array of pickup lines. Mentally, it was tough. I had the ultimate FOMO, which was in fact just missing out on everything. From those fun Friday nights to beautiful days under the sun. It was also at this time where I felt my loneliest. There'd be times when class would end and I'd be the last one there. I truly felt left behind. I'd have to roll myself out, open doors, sometimes even go in the snow just to get to my next class. And then finally, athletically, simply because I couldn't do the one thing that I loved the very most, lacrosse. Now, all signs pointed towards this being a truly defining failure in my life. But somewhere along the way, I decided to do something radical. I changed my perception of failure from something random and horrible to something unavoidable and beneficial. When you accept failure to be as common as the ice cream machine at McDonald's being broken, then a process of learning begins. Learning not only what you could have done better and how to do so going forward, but also learning what makes you truly unique. Is that hard work, perseverance, or even just being extraordinarily creative? And then what happened was I started to change my perception of failure. And the next year, I came back and I won an award from the Delaware Lacrosse Foundation for hard work and the ability to overcome extreme obstacles. From there, I started to change my perception of failure And what emerged was the true capabilities of my spirit. The very next day, or not the very next day, but what I found was that failure is not something that can truly define you. You see, I'm reminded of a quote from one of my favorite role models, Rocky Balboa, when he said, "It's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward." You see, it takes true courage to do the things that are unknown, the things that dreams are made of, and even truer courage to fail at those things, but to learn something along the way. You see, failure is as key to the human experience as anything we have. And with failure as a friend, I was certain to be better than ever before. And I was. I had higher grades, I was more active socially, and I had a willingness to take chances even when failure was high. You see, the art of failure is in fact the art of living fully. So ask out that girl of your dreams, take that dance class when you have 2 left feet, or maybe even give a TED Talk. And so I'll leave you with this. I want you to change your perception of failure and understand the benefits that can hold. I challenge you to be agents of that compassion by sharing a failure that you've learned from, using the hashtag that you've seen throughout this presentation in order to make a positive, impactful cultural change going forward. Thank you.